Am I live? I am live. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Evolution Racing Academy Season 14. We are here at the Hungaroring to open up the season, and I don't really have anything else to add about that right now. We'll talk about the storylines as they develop, as people join. I see some new names. I see some old names. I see some rating changes, which we'll touch on in a bit. And actually, I see one rating change that surprises the crap out of me. So we'll find out. Please let me know if there's any audio issues, things of that nature, problems, so on. It has been a while, but everything should be good, and we'll find out as we go on here. If I need to do any audio adjustments, anything like that, obviously that is all on the table. If you have questions, please feel free to ask as well. And let's get on the track, shall we? All right. So let me get my race control up here. Thank you. Let us get into the appropriate deal here, which is broadcast mode. And let's get a track map if we can, please. Who's going to be doing a lap soon? Car 154. You have been voluntold. That would be the great Pat Fortune. So welcome to the Hungaroring, a lap around here with the Pat Fortune 154 iron rated driver. Here we go. Heading into turn 1. This is a surprisingly tricky turn, and I don't blame Pat for getting a little raggedy through there. It actually is like one of the surprising areas where you can make up a lot of ground. Love this second turn here as well. Gotta be a little bit more confident through there, I think. Quick sweeper here for turn 3. Easy to invalidate your lap there. And then another issue is up here, turn 4, because this is a fast turn where you want to keep a lot of brain. Why are you doing this to me? A lot of momentum, a lot of velocity, but it's really, really tricky to do so. We get into the little chicane here. Good overtaking zone if you're confident on the brakes. And then into this kind of area that is really difficult to find. A lot of cars don't have a sweet spot for like what gear works best through here. But we get through there fine. Easy little turn there. Nothing too complicated here. That's the thing about the Hungaroring, though, is that a lot of these turns are really, really, really simple. Like, very theoretically simple. But the difficulty grade of getting them absolutely perfect is there. So there's a boatload of time to be made up pretty much anywhere. And we're coming towards the end of the lap here, last couple of turns. Not a bad lap from Pat. There are a couple of areas where there could have been a little bit more confidence with the throttle. But, gonna come across the line probably, yeah, there you go. Close to D. Hines. A little bit behind Matt Gale. Wouldn't really pay too much attention to the times right now because we are in practice. God knows what everybody is doing as far as, well, just in general, what they're doing in a general sense. It's a BMW. I like that livery. That looks cool. We'll, of course, be enjoying a lot of hopefully interesting liveries this season. Oral Shaw right now is the fastest of the pack. Welcome to the silver category, Oral. Previously was a bronze driver, so good to see that. I'll quickly break down the how you tell if it's a bronze driver, how you tell if it's an iron driver, how you tell if it's a silver driver. The white number pads here, the pro ones, the number plates that are pro, like this 296 one, these are the silver drivers. If we look at the 976, the red ones, those are iron drivers. Normally that would be bronze, but this is silver too, so that's iron. And then the liveries like this one, or not liveries, but number plates like this one, the number 8 of Chris Stancer, these are the bronze drivers. So let's have a look and see who's gotten promotions this season. We've got Oral Shaw promoted to the silver category. We have Bearded X Badass, who just can't just keeps running away from, like, the cars. He was an Audi in Season 13, BMW last season, and has now joined the Castrol Mustang team. And has put on his Ford helmet. So he has been promoted to the silver category. Also up is reigning Iron Champion Matthias Wiedemann. Wiedemann is rocking the Lexus this season. Or that's Adam Stewart, pardon me. That's a good livery. It's Wiedemann. I meant to get Wiedemann. Here we go. Matthias Wiedemann in the Porsche. Seems like he's in the pits. Maybe that's the problem. But anyways, he has been promoted from his Iron Championship winning season. Can you spectate number 411? Certainly. You can take a look. I'm not seeing a 411 right now, I'm afraid. Oh, there we are. Pauls Scriveris. I'm going to go with that. Latvian driver. Newcomer to my knowledge. Bowling Racing, representing an iron category entry for Porsche. It's a new face. We'll try and get a look at some of the new faces as we go, but I want to get a look at everybody who's been promoted this season. And, you know, welcome to the big leagues, as it were. Who else? Well, somehow Kerry Patton appears to have been demoted. Last season, I'm pretty sure he was a silver driver. And again, don't let the silver text there next to the number plate fool you. This is the bronze number plate, so I don't know what happened there. I like the Milwaukee Lamborghini livery. That's pretty cool. Had a rough season last season, so I guess I'm not that surprised. Professional Hater, another promoted driver, switching over from Mustang to Audi and making his debut as a silver driver with the Crocs livery. Not sure I love it. Not entirely certain I love it. Also, a promoted driver to the silver category from bronze is Robert Volt in the Nubs Racing Aston Martin. Promoted up into the big show as well. And let's see if Dennis Hook. Yep. We will have a new bronze champion this season as Dennis Hook has gotten the promotion to silver in the 911 Porsche. There you go. At least he's in a Porsche this time. So a number of promotions in play. Also Ron Morley making his way up. He was a late contender for the Iron Championship. Wouldn't say for the championship, but late, solid results late in the season in the Iron world. He is up to bronze this season, representing BMW once again. And I'm looking. I am going to look at Adam Stewart's here. I like that livery. That is some stuff. Also, it's good to have a Lexus in the field again. I missed last season not having any Lexuses. And Adam Stewart for the Wise Racing crew bringing the Lexus home. I wonder if any of the other Wise cars are also rocking the Lexus this season. Any of the Lexus in the field? I don't see any. But I also don't see any of the other Wise Racing drivers in the field at the moment. Oh, Mickey Taylor's back after a year away. Taylor got promoted to gold and was vamoosed from the Server 2 action. But the 194 Ferrari is back for another year and representing a silver rating. So that'll be interesting. Instant championship contender right there. A lot of new faces. A lot of new faces in the field. A lot of new names. A lot of new stories to learn. We got Casey Jones. These are also possible guys who are coming back after being around before I was a thing. Mario Ferreira is another new face, as well as Rian Lotrier? I'm going to go with Lotrier, but I am not sure. I'm open to correction on that one. We also have Werner Stefan, another South African driver. The aforementioned Latvian Gem, who just moved up because I think he just put up a lap time, and I've lost him on my... There he is. Pauls Scriveris. Another newcomer to the field, as well as Clinton Strobel. South Africa. Oh, there's Brandon Harvey. No, Brandon Harvey sporting a Lamborghini, so it looks like a mixed bag for the Wise Racing team.
Green light, green light.
So here to start with, we are going to have the Irons take to the field first. They get their first crack to set times and enjoy some things. So I'm just going to pick up whoever comes out of the pits first, honestly. And we're going to follow them for a bit because they're going to be the only person doing anything interesting. There's a couple coming up now. Not sure who I favor for the Iron Championship. Every season in the Iron Championship, like there's a generally difficult time figuring out who's at the front there. That is the 186 car. Okay. 186, you are on display. That is Werner Stefan in the Mustang from Draper Racing. It's always interesting to call the Iron Championship because when you have the Iron Championship, you have drivers making massive steps forward as drivers, number one. But number two, you also have the fact that we are going to inevitably dealing with a lot of new faces. Like a lot of the new faces I talked about were Iron drivers. And there's also perhaps going to be some settling that has to happen. I know each season there's always been a couple of new faces that have shown up kind of in the wrong spot, so to speak. Guys who felt like they were a little bit too fast for their rating, or a little bit too slow, possibly. And if I were to look at the Iron category right now, Max Cruz is probably my pick. Cruz showed a lot of pace and a fair amount of consistency last season towards the end. So he would be my pick. There's also Felix Kramaric, who's got the pace to win the title. It just is a matter of putting together a full season of, like, number one, attendance, but number two, not making mistakes and bringing it forth in that regard. But there's a lot of new faces, obviously, with Lautrier, Ferreira, Strobel, Scriveris, Werner Stefan. There's a lot of new faces. A lot of new... Casey Jones. So there's a lot of new things to be there. A couple other people to keep an eye on is Andreas Hansen. He doesn't really have the pace of a champion, but he does have the consistency and the stick-to-itiveness and the gumption that is often pretty key when it comes to being a lower category contender. So I wouldn't be surprised if he would be maybe somebody that can factor into this title a little bit. So we're still with Werner Stefan because presumably he is going to get the chance to set the pace, as it were. As far as the Iron category is concerned, he is, at least I believe currently... Nope, apparently that's an illegal lap already. Maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes the red tends to be legal. I haven't seen him do anything that would legalize a lap. We'll see. And behind him we have the BMW of the 976 car. That is D. Hines, who has a very stylish looking BMW livery as well. Whoever worked on the Stumpson liveries this season, thumbs up. Not the best we've seen. I'm probably still giving that nod to Adam Stewart's Lexus, but as the season goes on, we'll see. We'll see. The key to a good livery is also that I don't become bored or offended by it as the season goes on. Stunt Possum, pardon me, is the livery name. Hines could be a contender for Iron. There's been some moments of very solid drive from D. Hines, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was something that could be there. Hines goes fastest, but Fortune takes the pole back. Cruz went third quickest, and then Lautrier. Werner Stefan's lap was legal, just not very good. And Neil Gray, also now on pole. Ferreira, Hansen going faster. No times yet from Strobel or Scriveris. Casey Jones going second fastest in the Ferrari. There's our pole sitter at the moment, Andreas Hansen, whose livery has a little bit more color in it this season with the Los Patos Hermanos association. Dennis Hook in the chat. Dennis, how does it feel not to be defending your title? Being denied that opportunity. Who's on a banger right now? Neil Gray's got an improvement going on. I don't have a livery for Neil by the looks of it. So Neil, get yourself in the sim racing package, please, off of Awesome Sim Racing. Because I just updated my liveries, like, literally 2 minutes before going live. If I don't have you, you're not in the pack. Oh, we'll see. I'm noticing a lot of missing, like, top guys for the silver category last season are not here this season, so I think it's gonna be a pretty open title, honestly. I think we're looking at a competitive season. Neil Gray still up about 1.7 seconds. I mean, he is the slowest, but oh, and he's really slowed down. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We are not going to get a good lap out of Neil Gray. Andreas Hansen quite a ways up, actually. 1.4 seconds. I was talking about how Hansen. You haven't seen the speed. I have seen Oral Shaw and Badass Dennis. I also know that they screw up a lot. They were bronze drivers last season. Remember? I'm familiar. Oral Shaw, though, is definitely a championship. Is definitely somebody to keep in mind. Keep in mind for the championship. He is quite rapido. But he is mistake prone. He is mistake prone, and he is technical issue prone. So I think those play a larger role than a lot of people give it credit for. Ferreira's on a good lap here. Portuguese driver representing my racing team. Also on a good lap is Felix Kremerch, who's got the Rothmans Porsche again for a second season in a row. Oh, if someone would like to drop a link in the chat for somebody who wants to participate in the series. I mean, I imagine you cannot participate today, but long term, yes, registration is open, I believe. I have a link here, but this is for last season's standings. Ooh, Dennis Hook having technical difficulties. I mean, it could be. Hopefully not. Looking forward to seeing you out there doing some things. Like, to go back to my point about how the silver might be really, really, really open this season, I don't see John Spriggs, reigning champion. I don't see Milestone. I don't see Aaron Shergill. That was the top 3 from last season. I do see Richard Oakes, who finished 4th place last season, so he is here. But no Cedric Muir. There is Matt Gale. No Casadillas, no Biddle, no Hagen, no Gottschalk. So only 2 of the top 10 last season, at least today, are on the track. I don't know if anyone else has signed up. But I think that leaves us with a... yeah, Spriggs and Stone. I figured Spriggs and Stone are very good drivers. I'm just saying, a lot of the faces from last season are not here. So I'm very interested to see how this Silver Championship goes. Got a pretty good lap going for Max Cruz here, who is representing Los Patos Hermanos worldwide as well. So it looks like a notable extension of the Los Patos team. And Cruz is going to go second quickest there. Also, Dutch driver. Thought he was German last season. There we go. And Felix Kramaric goes 4th quickest in the Rothmans Porsche. 5/10 up right now is Paul Scriveris. That's over his current time, mind you. That being said, he's not... You know what? This could be pole for the iron category. Here we go. Scriveris to the line. Can he snag pole position from Andreas Hansen? And the point that goes with it. No! 155 short. Hansen will remain as the top dog for the time being. And I do see the bronze cars coming out. So that probably means the irons are done. Andreas Hansen, Paul Scriveris, Max Cruz, D. Hines, Felix Kramaric, Mario? Was it Mario? Yes, it was. Mario Ferreira, Casey Jones, Pat Fortune, Neil Gray, and Bo Zur, your top 10. All right, who is our leading car 32? Maciej Saha, the Polish Rocket. Sporting a very Polish, or very golden livery. I believe he was ironed last season, so this may be his first season in the bronze category. Has good speed. Flashes of brilliance last season. But at the same time, some rocky moments as well. Last season's bronze championship was won by Dennis Hook by 5 points over Robert Volt. Oral Shaw finished 3rd. All 3 of them have been promoted. Adrian Marood is the top returner. He finished 4th last season, and 2 seasons ago, Jeffrey Bacher was the champion, and he is in the field today, as well as Chris Dancer. Bearded X Badass picking up a promotion as well, and I think I only see Adam Stewart. Otherwise, Professional Hater also promoted this season to the ranks of the silver. So it should be Marood's championship to lose, but I don't really want to say that. You do have reigning Iron champion Matthias Wiedemann in the field, as well as Ron Morley coming up. I think they're both very, very quick, very rapid drivers, and so is Brandon Harvey. So there will be interest. But that being said, I call Brandon Harvey as the Iron champion from day 1 last season, and then he didn't win. So I'm not going to express that faith in him again. So we'll see how close the iron and bronze gap will be here today. Sometimes it's quite close, sometimes it is not. See what the likes of Maciej Saha can do. Not necessarily the most rapid of our bronze drivers in general, but is the early on pace setter. Might also be on an illegal lap for all I know. There we go. Not too far up. Not too far up. Not much of a gap. Here we go, Matthias Wiedemann. Matthias, why is your livery just getting worse every season? Like, it's still good, but you were at near perfection with the Lambo 2 seasons ago, and I've honestly just been disappointed ever since. 15th quickest. Matthias is not the fastest driver. He's just very, very consistent. That's how he won the Iron Championship last season. Taking a look at Adrian Marood. Uh-oh, Marood has left the Honda camp. Adrian Marood, in the year when he is the forerunner for this bronze championship, and suddenly here he is being like, nah, the Honda is no longer a thing. I am moving to Italy. I am adopting a prancing horse. I am Viva Ferrari. that could definitely complicate things for Marood as he tries to go for a title. Also, another former Iron Champion in the field, Sean Young. 2 seasons ago was the Iron Champion, has gotten his promotion to the Bronze Championship this season. And is out there currently in 11th place, although a couple tenths up, is stopped behind Wiedemann. Looks like he has joined the Cyber Racing family this season. And they will have the last 2 Iron Champions, Sean Young and Matthias Wiedemann, in their on their roster. Very impressive. Very interesting. Also had a very good lap with his classic McLaren car, Chris Dancer. He's had that livery for the last 3 seasons, at least. And I appreciates that about him. I appreciates that consistency. Definitely makes the job of the commentator a lot easier, actually, when people are using the same livery year after year. It is legitimately giving me a hand. Goes 8th quickest. Ron Morley, by the way, has gone 2nd quickest in the BMW. Currently it is Saha, Morley, Hansen, Kramaric, and Scriveris, your top 5. We, of course, have the silvers yet to come. And I think we can expect a fair amount of change to that top 5. Stancer's on an improvement lap. Morley's on what would be a pole lap as it stands. Let's see if we can keep it together. Brandon Harvey's also got a pretty good burner going. But he's quite down in the order there in 19th place. Another recent promotion from the Iron Ranks. And this should be pole. Did not get off that last corner very well, but I think this should be Ron Morley to the top of the time charts. And it is provisional pole for the 815. America. Wise Racing Lamborghini for Brandon Harvey coming to the line here. This will be a notable improvement. Up into 15th place. Not quite so fast. Last season in the BMW, he was rapid, but inconsistent. Chris Dancer looking at another improvement lap here. Should take him up into 7th place, and it does. Jeffrey Bacher moving to the Shine Automotive team. And Lamborghini this season after a pretty dismal title defense in the Audi. So I kind of expected to see a change. I'm a little confused at the choice to go Lamborghini after struggling in the Audi R8. There tends to be a certain similar nature to the struggles of those 2 cars. But Bacher goes 14th quickest. Adrian Marood currently on an improvement lap. Only take him up to about 8th place though at the rate. Oh, never mind. That is going to be very illegal. Chris Dancer's on another improvement lap here. This will be top 5 as it stands. We here in the commentary booth would like to see Chris Dancer exceed this season. A dogged, determined bronze driver for basically my entire time in the booth. And I would appreciate it if he could bring home some results that kind of dogged determination deserves, in my opinion. Should be around Scriveris' time. Yep, there we go. 5th place. 5th place. The irons did a remarkably good job. There's a number of them mixing it in with the bronzes. So, looking forward to that. By the way, Pole has gone back to Masil Saha. But as it stands, Ron Morley is threatening for it again. And not quite fast enough through that chicane section that lost a lot of time, about 3/10. And that'll probably put it into this lap being a pole position threat. Matthias Wiedemann's got a decent improvement lap going right now that would take him up to probably just on the edge of the top 10. As it stands, where are the Zillas? No, I don't think we. I don't know. Do we have any Zillas this season? Your hope would be like Matt Gale was a... Nah, Matt Gale's in a Porsche. Oh, we do. We do. We got El Perry. We got the Stealth Bomber. There is some Zilla content. El Perry was a magnet of bad fortune last season, though, so that's not necessarily good for the Japanese brand. Wiedemann was in the top 10, but just got knocked out by teammate Sean Young. So that is it for the bronzes. Bronze pole position will go to Masil Saha, followed by Ron Morley, Chris Stancer, Sean Young, and Adam Stewart in 5th place. My pick for the championship, Adrian Marood, is 7th in the pecking order and 12th overall. So let's pull out the map here. Who are we following here? 508. No, that is not a one. Car 20. That would be Richard Oakes, the Rust Bucket. Back for another one. By the way, Kerry Patton picking up a DSQ. I don't know what that's about. Let me hop into the pit chat here, or the garage chat here for a moment. Ah, qualification ban. Okay. So presumably he will be permitted to participate in the race itself. Alright, Richard Oakes out there. The Rain Whisperer, as you could probably tell from how rusted up that car is. He's had some phenomenal performances in the wet, but the dry times haven't been necessarily there. Still finished 4th last season. Probably does have to be, if not the Vegas odds favorite for the championship, then at least a top 5 position. So definitely somebody to look out for. Whose livery is that in behind him? That is car 911. That is Dennis Hook, the reigning bronze champion, looking to make his silver mark. And Oakes comes across the line. 3rd place behind Saha and Morley. Probably has a little more speed than that. Dennis Hook comes across in 4th place. Matt Gale also coming across the line in 5th. Having joined the Cyberline guys. Professional hater in the Audi. We're going to be giving the Audi a lot of love because I do love the Audi. And they are so rare. And yes, we will obligatory give you the Nissan love. El Perry in the Stealth Bomber yet again. Let's go. Also going to give a lot of love to Dave Slater because he was a regular in the chat last season. Bearded X Badass is on a pretty good one here. He's up 1.4 seconds in the Mustang. Sorry, I have to scratch my right between the shoulder blades. Oh, that feels so much better. He's up about 2 seconds. We'll see if he can keep it going here. This would be... Oh, never mind! The Caster's Curse bites the 789. Dennis Hook is now... Yeah. Now the mover and shaker, although he's only about 3/10 up. This would still move him into third place if he can keep up this pace. They're going very... the cyber racing crew is really going very... what is that? Iron Force? Iron Ring. Iron Ring, maybe? It's the old ADAC Porsche team. And their inspiration. And he does go fourth quickest. Professional Hater currently up 2.5 seconds on his best time. So put him in the mid-pack around 15th place. 13th, actually. A little bit higher. A little bit higher. But Oral Ja has hit the top of the time charts by less than 1/10 of a second over the, again, I have to point this out, bronze driving Masil Saha. We actually still have bronze drivers in second and third place. This is amazing. And we've only got 4 minutes left in qualifying, so it's not early days. It's not like the track is going to get particularly faster. Ja is looking to improve here, though. He's up about 3/10. Richard Oakes and Matt Gale also have good laps going. As well as further down, Robert Volt and Professional Hater. And a really good lap for Bearded X Badass, but we're not going to watch him because I caster cursed him last time. And he crashed. We'll rock it with Ja here till the end. We'll catch Gale as he comes to the line. Matt Gale might move into the top 5 with this. Not quite. Here comes Richard Oakes. He's going to improve to third place. And Dennis Hook says, I will take that pole. Thank you very much. It's going to be very, very short-lived, though, as Oral Shot comes to the line about 6/10 faster and moves to the top of the pile by about a half second. Actually, dead on a half second. David Slater is on an improvement lap here. And this is L. Perry up ahead of him. Slater goes 28th quickest. Perry appears to have invalidated his lap right at the end. That is unfortunate. Matt Gale up 3/10 right now, 4/10 actually. Could be enough for a top 5. Not threatening pole or anything. Gale showed some excellent pace last season in the Nissan GTR, but consistency was a problem. That might be, well, that and the general association with the Cyber Racing team, which is a quality effort, probably helping out. Probably helping to make that decision for him. And making him move over to the Porsche brand. And 4th place for the Brit. Hater in the Audi. He's got a little bit of an improvement here. Not too much, though. Might just allow him to nudge aside Andreas Hansen. By the way, I can't emphasize this enough. We have 2 irons and 2 bronzes still in the top 10. With Hansen and Kramrich currently locking out row 5. Saha and Morley still 5th and 7th. El Perry to the line. With an improvement up to 24th place. And immediately falls down to 25th is David Slater. comes across the line to displace him. Mickey Taylor, someone I expected a little bit more from. Currently down in 19th place. Slumming it. We got a Los Patos Hermanos cheering section. We, of course, have the standard Nissan cheering section. And we have the Scrivaris cheering section. So this should be an interesting season in the chat. Hook goes to the pits. So yeah, last person with any chance to really do much is Mickey Taylor. It's a slightly improved lap from what he's got up on the board. Well, you could also max that up in the final turn. And basically no improvement. So our grid, Oral Ja will start on pole from Bearded X Badass. Row 2, Matt Gale and Dennis Hook. Row 3, Masio Saha, the pole sitter for the bronze category. Joined by Richard Oakes, the wet weather expert. Then we have row 4, Ron Morley and Professional Hater. Row 5, Andreas Hansen, the iron pole sitter, ahead of Felix Kramrich. Row 6, Robert Volt and Chris Stancer. Row 7, Pauls Scrivaris and Max Cruz. Sean Young and Adam Stewart on row 8. Row 9 for D. Hines and Matthias Wiedemann. Row 10 for Mickey Taylor and Adrian Marood. Row 11 for Mario Ferreira and Mike Golfer. Row 12 for David Slater and Casey Jones. Row 13, El Perry and Jeffrey Bacher. Brandon Harvey, row 14. What are you doing, my man? Joined by Pat Fortune, Bozer and Neil Gray on row 15. Matthew East and Clinton Strobel on row 16. Row 17 will belong to Latrier and Werner Steffen, and the non-qualifying because of a prior penalty, Kerry Pattinen will start at the back. Good pace for Hansen. Yes, Andreas Hansen had a very solid qualifying. I was saying, actually, in the iron portion of the qualifying, I thought Hansen was kind of a dark horse in the championship because of his mental fortitude, his durability, for lack of a better word. He tends to really show up regardless. So to see him on pole, like, that just adds to the mythos, basically. The capability, the odds, I suppose, in a nutshell, that 969 Mercedes actually could be an iron frontrunner. Because my worry is he wouldn't. He will show us the qualities with the AMG, I'm sure of it. He was in the AMG last season, and single lap pace was not really his thing. Again, like, I was kind of thinking like he was a championship contender that would take like a bunch of 4th and 5th places. But if he can actually be like at the front of the iron category in terms of pace and have the aforementioned like consistency and determination, he's a massive threat. Felix Kramrich, I think, also a candidate. Max Cruz is still my pick, though. I'll still go with my Iron Champion pick is Max Cruz. My silver or my bronze pick is still Adrian Marood. I gotta have faith in Marood at some point. And I haven't really had a pick in the silver category because there's a lot of like guys who definitely have the pace to do it. Oral Ja on pole obviously is, you know, one of the top options there. Matt Gale. Nathan Gray. Why do I keep calling him Neil Gray? Yeah, Matthew Gray. Nathan Gray is pretty solid too. I don't know who is my pick in the silver category. Who am I going with? What does my experience tell me? It's kind of okay. So here's my debate. Here's my problem. The guys who have historically impressed me with their speed in the silver category right now, the Matt Gales, the Oral Jaws, the professional haters, they're also the guys that have had the bad luck, the technical issues, the lack of focus. You know what I mean? Like they're the fast guys, but they're like the guys who tend to make the mistakes. And the guys who maybe don't have that speed, your Robert Volts, your Dennis Hooks, your I need a third person. Well, it's really just those two, isn't it? They don't have the champion's speed. They don't have the pace. But they do have what I was talking about before, those intangibles. The hard work, dedication, stick-to-itiveness, and consistency to be champion. So I think it's going to be a very interesting thing. Wiedemann has never been particularly solid when it comes to like one lap pace. He's definitely in that Andreas Hansen category of like guys I expect to see go forward in a race but qualify relatively poorly. Oh, we got a lot of Paul Scrivaris love in the chat. See, I can't pick Paul Scrivaris, chat. I can't do that. I've never seen him race. What would I be picking him on? But he is third quickest today in the iron category, so I mean that bodes well for the 411. So it will be Oral Ja. Unquestionably has the pace to be a champion. He just has to do the rest. He has to figure out the technical aspects, the consistency aspects of a season. Watch and learn. I intend to. I do think I'm sticking with my Max Cruz pick though for the Iron Championship. Max was very rapid last season towards the end. He was really on top of that BMW, and he's only 4th place today in the Iron, but look out for it. I have faith. It's probably my highest faith pick of my 3 champions. I'm going to go with Oral Ja for my silver pick. I know it seems a bit lame because he's on pole today. It just seems like that's the reason. But no, I think Oral Ja, the way he's been talking, the way that he's been in interviews with me, the way I've seen him in chat, I think he has the absolute correct attitude for what he's trying to put together here. And he has an exceptionally solid base pace. So if he can take that pace and promptly, take it to the next level, I think that we'll see some things. See us the liveries? Well, is there any particular livery you want to see there? I tried to get a little bit of everybody's livery over the course of the qualifying period. I think I've actually figured out who everybody is for a change. There's a couple that are broken, by which I mean they're appearing as black cars, so maybe there's a problem with them in the livery package. But I did update the livery, so there's like 2 or 3 out there that I think might have to be corrected at some point. We'll see. All right, here we go! Headed down to the first corner here at the Hungaroring. On the inside, that is Matt Gale taking a look at the lead. Oral Shaw, Richard Oakes also in the mix. Far outside is the Castrol of Beardex Badass! Oral is off the track, and Matt Gale emerges from the second row in the lead. But he is not alone. Right alongside him is one of the Mercedes there. That is Masio Saha going side by side with him. Oral Shaw slots it in third place, having started on the pole position. Back into fourth for Dennis Hook. Fifth place, Richard Oakes. Sixth place, Bearded X Badass. The front row got off to a terrible start. And now Matt Gale controls the festivities, leading the way for Masio Saha and Oral Shaw. Dennis Hook, Richard Oakes in seventh place. That is Professional Hater in the very pink Audi. And I believe eighth place belongs to the Iron Driver, Andreas Hansen. I am correct. Paul Scrivaris is up into ninth place. Ron Morley, a good start in 10th. Robert Volt up to 11th. Felix Kramerich, Chris Dancer, Sean Young, D. Hines. Max Bruce, a bad start. Falling back to 16th place ahead of Adam Stewart, Matthias Weideman, Brandon Harvey, David Slater, L. Perry, Pat Fortune, and Matthew East in 23rd position. Oral Shaw going side by side with Masio Saha. Saha not really in this battle. He is not a silver driver. He is a bronze driver. And he is vying for that bronze championship. But he is going side by side with Oral Shaw. And I don't want to say getting in the way, because he's totally within his rights to do this. But he is hanging on to second place right now, and that suits Matt Gale just fine. Gale trying to get away. Saha now has got to crush it back to Shaw as Dennis Hook moves into third place. Richard Oakes in the Rust Bucket also in the mix. Porsche v Ferrari. And Oral Shaw is getting very, very wide at turn 1 again. No! He's got it very wrong. He'll rejoin behind Professional Hater in 6th place. That is terrible. What is going on with Oral Shaw at the first corner? By the way, Professional Hater is falling. Not Hater. Bearded X Badass. Falling back a little bit there into the clutches of Andreas Hansen and Paul Scrivaris in 9th place. Ron Morley still rounding off the top 10 in the Beamer. Robert Volt in behind him. Then it is Felix Kramerich in the Rothmans Porsche, Chris Dancer in the McLaren, Sean Young in the Porsche, Max Bruce, Adam Stewart, Matthias Weideman, Brandon Harvey, D. Hines, and L. Perry, your top 10. David Slater on the charge as well. He is up to 21st place. And we have an off. Morley off the track. It was another car also off at the same time, and it looks like he's come to blows with Paul Scrivaris. Possibly also Robert. Oh, yeah! Right into the back of the 411. That's got to be all on Morley there. Bad braking from the 815. Masio Saha still remains in second place. Pardon me, third place. Second place? No, he's caught up to Matt Gale. He is in second place. Okay. That is the other cyber racing Porsche behind him of Dennis Hook and Richard Oakes in the Rust Bucket in fourth. Oral Shaw in fifth. Oral Shaw having a terrible one. I gotta hang on. We gotta be on board with Oral Shaw into this first corner. He has botched quarter 1 both times, and if it happens again, there has to be a braking issue with the 296. Okay, he got it this time. Professional Hater in 6th place in the pink Audi. Fending off the Mustang of Bearded X Badass and Andreas Hansen in the Mercedes. Rounding off the top 10 is now Robert Volt and Felix Kramerich. Further back, we have a we have a pile up. We're to get a replay. Something went wrong in the mid-pack here. Oh, Lord! A horrible hit. Brandon Harvey getting absolutely obliterated by one of the Porsches. A bunch of people ending up off the track. I'm not sure which Porsche that was. I didn't quite pick up the livery. Looking. Not Wiedemann. Oh, it's Matthew East. That's why I didn't pick up who the livery was. Matthew East is historically a BMW. I'm not used to that. Anyways, into the pits goes Mario Ferreira, and I'm not surprised to see the Lamborghini of Brandon Harvey in the pits. That is not surprising. Masio Saha is battling for the lead, but it's also opening the door for Dennis Hook and Richard Oakes, as well as Oral Jha. Matt Gale is not getting away. I kind of thought he would. I thought that the way this broke down with Saha in second place, that would be a great battle, like a great option for him. It's not happening. Saha is keeping up. He is legitimately in this second place battle. Richard Oakes in behind there looking to make a move on Dennis Hook into turn 1. Russ Bucket versus Cyber Racing. And for now, Oakes is repelled. Super close battle all through the field. But it is Matt Gale in the 508 Porsche still leading the way for Cyber Racing. Second place belongs to Maciel Saha. Third place is the second Cyber Racing Porsche of Dennis Hook. Followed by Richard Oakes, Oral Jha, Professional Hater, Bearded Ex-Badass, Andreas Hansen, Robert Volt, and Felix Kramaric, your top 10. Ron Morley still in the mix, followed by Chris Dancer, Sean Young, Adam Stewart, Max Cruz, L. Perry's up to 16th place, D. Hines, 17th, David Slater up to 18th, Adrian Maroon, and Paul Scrivaris, your top 20. A couple of cars have been in for their pit stop early because of damage. We'll see if they can make that happen. Further back, Paul Scrivaris will get a replay of that as he makes an overtake happen. That is Adrian Maroon in the Lamborghini. Oh, gave him a little shove. Gave him a little shove. Pardon me, the Ferrari of Adrian Maroon. Little bit of dirty pool, but nothing too bad. Sean Young also off the track there. Looks like that was self-inflicted. Dennis Hook has taken the lead. What has happened to Matt Gale? Looks like Gale and Saha maybe came to blows. And Hook is taking advantage as well as Richard Oakes to move up the order into first and third. Saha remains second. He's just trailing another Cyber Porsche right now. Oral Jha up into fourth. Then it's Gale and Hater. This battle for the lead goes all the way back to Andreas Hansen. By the way, Bearded Ex-Badass, what are you doing and why? Why did you think that that was a good idea? Bearded Ex-Badass, I gotta pick it. I gotta pick at the at this move here. What are you doing? What are you doing? That is a torpedo and a half, sir. That is unacceptable. Contacts with Matt Gale. Dennis Hook in the lead. Richard Oakes in second place. Saha down to third. Oral Jha to fourth. Gale fifth, despite the contact. Andres Hansen, Los Patos Hermanos, in sixth place for the Iron Driver. He's ahead of Professional Hater and Robert Volt. Behind them, it's Kramaric. And then now in the top 10 is Ron Morley. Chris Dancer having a quiet but solid day in 11th place. Then it is Adam Stewart in the very cool Wise Racing. I'll be honest, I would have gone with a slightly different shade of like neon, but that looks pretty good. Bearded Ex-Badass rejoins in 13th place ahead of Max Cruz. And then behind Cruz is the Stealth Bomber Nissan of L. Perry. D. Hines in 16th place ahead of Sean Young. Paul Scrivaris is up to 18th place. David Slater down to 19th place. And Adrian Maroon rounding off the top 20 at the moment. Masil Saha! Thinking about it. The Porsches leave the door open on the inside through that particular section. I've noticed that. Now, the problem, of course, is fighting off the temptation to do something dumb to try to exploit that and actually having, like, a good exploit on the table. Like, that's the problem. By the way, fast slap of the race from Oral Shah. 145, 485. 2 laps to go. Not by much, though. Richard Oakes has a 45, 495. So there's a couple of 45s out there to balance that out. I don't think we ought to look at Golfer's livery. And to be honest, I kind of now wish I had stayed ignorant. Kind of wishing I had stayed ignorant on the livery. That is very plain. Being chased by Strobel and Patented. Andres Hansen on the tail of Matt Gale, who at one point had the lead, but is now falling back as I was gonna say is pulling back. Hansen kind of just overshot that pretty badly, and Gale will take that spot back, and it's actually maybe Professional Hater who can make some stuff happen. Oral Shah on the tail of Masil Saha for 3rd place. Look still has the lead. Oakes in 2nd place. Saha, Jaw, Gale, Hansen, Hayter, Volt, Kramrich, and Morley. Your top 10. I think that was a connection error thing because Hook just suddenly moved up a bunch of spots on mine and fell back and then moved up. As Ron Morley is caught up to Felix Kramrich. Whose livery is that? Is that Kramrich? No, Kramrich should be the Rothman's car. Weird. On the replay, he appears with a completely different livery. That is bizarre. Beer Deck's Badass catching up to the back of the Lexus of Adam Stewart, who is kind of opening the door for him. Probably doesn't see the fact that he's not really fighting with the 789 for position. And the silver driver will probably go through here. There you go. And the Mustang leads the Lexus. Dennis Hook continues to lead in the 911 Porsche. Richard Oakes in 2nd. Masil Saha in 3rd. Oral Shah also in this group in the 4th place car. They've kind of opened up a bit of a gap to 5th place where there is the Matt Gale train, which includes Matt Gale, Andreas Hansen, and Professional Hater. Volt kind of on his own. Morley kind of on his own. Kramrich and Stancer are battling for 10th. And then it starts to spread out a little bit. There's still some other battles. El Perry up at the back of Max Cruz, for example. Sean Young in close proximity to Dee Hines. Casey Jones and Nathan Gray are battling it out for 21st place. Excuse me. Hook remains in the lead. Iron driver positions? Certainly! I can give you a rundown. Chat. Andreas Hansen first, Felix Kramrich second, Max Cruz third, D. Hines fourth. Whoa! Spin out for the race leader! Dennis Hook! We were on it, but I was looking at the standings. Did Oaks get him in the back? Or did he just lose it? He just lost it. I mean, it looks like Oaks finished him off, but he definitely lost that on his own a little bit. He's breaking loose. And he's in the pits. Oh no, that is not good. That gives Richard Oaks the lead. Back to the Iron recap. Hansen leads for Kramrich, Cruz, Hines. Scrivaris is in 5th. 6th for Gray. 7th for Jones. 8th for Strobel. 9th for Fortune. 10th for Bozer. Werner Steffen 11th. 12th for Lautrier. And Ferreira is in 13th. Now, keep in mind, Ferreira has done his pit stop. So he's a little bit out of sequence right now. Might come into play a little bit higher up. He was a victim of that massive pileup in the midfield. Bearded X Badass looking to get another spot here on Chris Stancer. It's Adam Stewart in behind and Max Cruz a little bit further back. We have a yellow flag for Casey Jones. The American driver off the track. Let's see what happened. Just gets a little bit of the grass and spins it out. Passing side, suicide. Kerry Patton in the pits. As well as, of course, Dennis Hook after his technical issues. I also give the bronze rundown right now. It is Saha from Morley, Stewart, and Stancer, your top 4. Sean Young is 5th, 6th for Burud, 7th for Golfer, 8th for Wiedemann, 9th is Patton, who's in the pits right now. Bacher in 10th, East 11th, and Harvey in 12th. Richard Oaks has absolutely got a train behind him. Like if you told me any of these guys was in first place at the end of this lap, I'd believe you. that is how messed up this is. Oaks leading Saha, Jaw, Gale, Hansen, and Hayter. They're all within 0.6 of each other. Rounding off the top 10 at the moment is Volt, Morley, Kramrich, and Bearded X Badass. Oral Jaw defending against Gale. And the order remains the same, at least for now. Whoa! Saha loses it. How'd that happen? No one in behind him. He must have just lost the... Oh, he hit Oaks. He unsettled himself by hitting Oaks. And that did not work out well for him as he drops to 10th place. So it is now Oaks, Jaw, Gale, Hansen, Hayter. Mind you, another one who's showing up wrong on the replays is Hansen's car. He appears as a Swedish flag. Interesting note there. Robert Volt up into 6th place. Ron Morley to 7th. Bearded X Badass to 8th place as he overtakes Felix Kramrich. And then it is Saha, Stewart, and Stancer falling back. Max Cruz on the back end to him as well, representing the Los Patos Hermanos Worldwide brand. Richard Oaks in the rust bucket. You are a hunted man. First place has not been a good spot in this race. It's changed hands a number of times. We are at 1999. Professional Hater and Andreas Hansen are off. What happened? Between the Hater and the Hansen. Yeah, that's Hansen's car on replay. And Hater just gets into the back of him. Not much I can defend there, Mr. Hater. And I want to. You're the only Audi in the field. I want to defend the Audis, but I can't really do that. Well, with that, with Saha and Hansen falling back... Well, no, Hansen retains the iron lead. But now, of course, the bronze leader is now 5th place, Ron Morley. There has thus far been some clumsiness out here today. That early season jitters may be playing a role. Robert Volt, in the meantime, who's done kind of like nothing this race, but just like drive, is up into 4th place. I don't want to be dismissive of his efforts, but he's honestly just he's just kept his nose clean. And as a result, he finds himself in 4th place. Side-by-side action between Oral Ja and Richard Oakes. By the way, there's nothing to be ashamed of. When a lot of like winning a championship, a lot of putting up good results is Sean Young's last lap. 48.557. It was invalid though, so I think something happened. So I would not use that as predictive. As Oral Ja gets a little out of shape. And as a result, Matt Gale, who led this race in the early stages, is up on side-by-side with him. Fastest lap, by the way, now belongs to Bearded X Badass, 45.4. Pardon me, that was his last lap. 44.602 is the fastest. Bearded X Badass is the first and thus far only car into the 144s. Maciel Saha on the tail of Felix Kramrich. Chad also asked if about Sean Young's fastest lap. Yeah, his last lap. Yeah, his last lap now is like a second faster than the one that I gave you. So he's doing 47s to 46s right now. If you're trying to find information for your boy Scrivaris, they're about the same pace right this second. There's not a lot of difference. Although I will say, Scrivaris is the faster of the two. Okay, pit stop from Oral Ja. With the front runners coming in. There is the battle between Scrivaris and Young. Also, I think Young is being limited by the pace of D. Hines in front of him. Admittedly, Hines is historically not of a pace to Sean Young. He's a perfectly fine driver, but not generally in front of Young. So, I would say that these three cars are probably in something resembling reverse pace order right now, where the two behind are limited to Hines' pace, more so than running their own pace right now. But Hines runs 14th. Golfer in the pits, Brandon Harvey is in the pits again. That's not a good sign for Brandon Harvey. He had problems earlier in the race, had to pit after a hard contact with Matthew East, sending him into the wall. Robert Volt into the pits. Also in is Maciel Saha. And Sean Young into the pit lane. Looking to try and play some tactical pit action here. What is our pit stop count at this point? The top running pitter is Oral Ja in 23rd position. Jesse Bacher has also been in, as well as Mike Golfer. They are the top three. Adrian Maroud trying to get around. That is Nathan Gray in the 995 Aston Martin. One of the liveries that appears to be not functional with the package as things stand. Either that or he's intentionally running the gunmetal gray and black carbon look, which it would be bold. It would be bold. Casey Jones is off. What has happened to the stunt possum Ferrari? He just gets a little bit of the curb and spins himself around. Bearded X Badass! Next up on his Mustang list is the BMW of Ron Morley. Bearded is the fastest man on the track in terms of lap time, but his last lap was nothing special. And in behind them it is Felix Krammerch in the Porsche. Further back is that? Oh, something off the track there. That is Lautrier off the track. The South African driver. Adam Stewart up on the back of Felix Krammerich. And that's Kerry Patton in the background. He is a lapped car, but has also been pitted. So in reality, he's just not really involved in this particular battle. Patton's battle is with trying to catch up with Golfer. Leading pit stopper is now Robert Volt in 19th place. Saha came out in a solid 22nd as well. So that is probably about the lead of the race as far as the pit stops are concerned. Top 18 yet to pit. And speaking of which, race leader Richard Oakes, as well as Iron leader Andres Hansen, are in the pit lane. Temporary, the leads of both respective categories go to Matt Gale and Felix Krammerich. Paul Scrivaris and Dee Hines are also in the pit lane. Oral Ja is up on the back of Robert Volt. This is for the lead of the pit stoppers. Casey Jones heading into the pit lane. Hansen rejoins the race. Oaks rejoins the race ahead of this battle, so Richard Oaks is still effectively your race leader, rejoining in 14th position once the tower gets all updated there. Badass is up on the back of... Oh, Morley's in the pits. Okay. Ron Morley in the pit lane. Adam Stewart also coming in. And I'll probably put... Nope, Stancer's also coming in. So who's going to stay out and take the lead here? Looks like Adrian Marood will move into the top spot of the bronze category for the time being. Excuse me. So we're still waiting on pit stops from Gale, Bearded X Badass, Felix Kramerich, Max Cruz, Professional Hater, Nathan Gray, Adrian Marood, David Slater, I keep wanting to say Christian Strobel, but I know that that's wrong. Clinton Strobel. Pat Fortune's in the pits. Matthias Wiedemann and Bo Zur have yet to pit as well. And neither has Werner Steffen or Lotrier. Sean Young battling with Jesse that's Bo Zur he's battling with there. That is not where he wants to be, nor is it where Jeffrey Bacher wants to be. And this is not a disrespect to Bo Zur, but these are guys with championship aspirations. They really should not be battling with an iron driver. Although admittedly one that has not pitted yet. Gale pits for the lead, and that hands the lead to the Castrol car of the Bearded X Badass. Also in is Kramerich. That'll hand the lead of the iron category to Max Cruz. This race feels very, 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 very up for grabs. It has been that kind of close pace, plus a little bit of chaos, plus a little bit of clumsiness. Definitely has gotten things very close. Richard Oaks has about a 4-second lead over the other pit stoppers right now. He is effectively the race leader. Runs 6th at the moment, but the 5 cars ahead of him still have to pit. Yellow out for Morley and Kramerich. That is not good. What happened between these two? Keep in mind, in the replays, that Rothman's Porsche appears like that for some reason, and Morley just gets in the back of him. I'm going to go probably more on Morley there, but also Kramerich kind of turned in without really any consideration for where that car was. Largely invited the contact. But at the end of the day, you're still rear-ending someone, and that is going to be more your fault than their fault. But if I were to put my coach's hat on, I would be, you know, I would be asking Kramaric not to do that in the future. In a nutshell. Orja overtaking Clinton Strobel there, but I... Strobel, why are you not in the pits? You have a damaged front end. I would get that dealt with. You gotta pit anyways. You're on the short list of like 8 drivers who still have to pit. And to be honest, one of the few that is not really gaining anything by staying out right now. Between the damage and the fact that you're essentially driving in traffic. Professional hater up on the tail of Max Cruz. Cruz is like, you know what? I'm going to get into the pit stop here. I'm not going to fight with the Barbie car. Go on through, sir. Hater moves into second place. On track. Now, I am interested where Hater comes out in relation to Hansen. Let's pull the map up here. So we're on board with the 969. Drive-through penalty for Orja. That is not good, needless to say. And the car we're interested in is Cruz's number 57 car, which is in the pits. We'll see where it comes out in relation to Hansen, because this is the battle for the iron lead, I think. Especially with Kramaric having his problem. Gray and Strobel have still yet to pit. So there is some level of interest there as well. Rude's in. And Hansen is going to easily clear Cruz. So, good news for one, Los Patos Hermanos. Not so great news for the other. And we have contact possibly between D. Hines and Paul Scrivaris. We caught that a bit too late to apportion blame. Drive-through penalty for Dennis Hook, who has rejoined the festivities. I hadn't noted that. Scrivaris does overtake Hines. Maciel Saha on the tail of Clinton Strobel. Strobel really does need to think about pitting. He is really losing a lot of time right now. His car is not driving well. It does appear to have some damage. Hader and Gray in. Also in is... that's Matthias Wiedemann. And there was another car in the pits. Ah, Mickey Taylor. Bearded X Badass in the lead by 55 seconds. What's our pit delta here? About a minute, I think, is probably what we can expect. Seeing low minutes. Yeah, the only people who are sub-minute are... oh, wait, no. Adam Stewart's got the fastest pit time. 57 seconds. So... Professional Hater also sub 1 minute. So... some chance, I suppose. But, not a lot of one. And Hater and Bearded X Badass does get in the pit lane. Might come out in the top 3, though. I don't think he has a real chance at Richard Oakes here. but he might be able to get between Oaks and Gale. Now, the car behind Oaks, that is not Matt Gale. That is another one of the Cyber Racing Porsches. Gale is the green one, slightly further back. But I do think Bearded X Badass, if this pit stop goes according to plan, might be able to get out in second place. Should certainly get out ahead of Volt. All right, is he going? Is he going? Is he going? That's Oaks going through now. Gale is the 508 car. Gale's going to beat him out, but he is going to rejoin ahead of the 306 of Volt. Maybe not. Maybe not. Here comes Volt. Here comes Volt. Volt's ahead. Will rejoin ahead of Maciel Saha, though, in fourth place. Saha having a phenomenal day. Props to him. What was that pit stop time? Because I did not think Badass would come out this far back. Not a great pit stop. That'll do that to you. Bit of a slow pit stop from Bearded X Badass puts him off the podium. So it's Oaks leading from Gale, Volt, Bearded X Badass, Saha, Stewart, Hansen, Morley, Jaw, and Hayter. That's your top 10. In the silver category, it's Oaks, Gale, Volt, Bearded X Badass, and Jaw, your top 5. In the bronze category, it is Saha leading from Stewart, Morley, Young, and Bacher. In the iron, it's Hansen from Kramaric, Cruz, Gray, who's having a phenomenal day, and Scrivaris in 5th place. Scrivaris, which is it? I don't know. Gray and El Perry in a battle for position. El Perry coming back from a bad qualifying to have a pretty solid race, all things considered. Although you'd have to say 13th place for a silver driver is still not really cutting it. In the silver order, he'll pick up a couple of places because there's a number of good bronze and iron drivers going on right now. In fact, about 6 of them. So he is actually 7th when it comes to the silver standings. Strobel in the pits. Battle for second place in iron going on right now between Kramaric and Cruz. For 11th place on track and 2nd in class. And also a very good battle going on for the final step of the podium between Volt, Bearded X Badass, and Maciel Saha. The bronze leader there in the golden Mercedes. Still plenty of time left. Fastest lap by class, Bearded X Badass with a 44.602 has the fastest lap of the race, and thus of the silvers. In the bronze category, it looks like 45.07017 for Saha prevails. And for the iron category, it is a very impressive, and I do mean very impressive, 45.397 from Andres Hansen. Nathan Gray still on the tail of El Perry. Got some blue flags coming out here for one of the Porsches. As the battle for third goes through, that is... Who's that up ahead? That is... Oh, that's a 911. Oh, that's Dennis Hook. One-time contender for this win. But tech issues has robbed him of that. And now he is a rolling low. Oh, Saha sees an opportunity. Round the outside and into fourth place for the Polish driver. Besides Saha moving up to the field. Also, we missed it, but Nathan Gray overtaking L. Perry, victimizing the stealth bomber. Pressure coming from Max Kruse on Kramaric still. That is not a car racing them in behind. I'm not sure who that is. Looks like a Lamborghini towards the back of the pack, maybe. It's not Brandon Harvey. Ah, it's Bozer. Ah, Bozer also representing Los Patos Hermanos. Los Patos Hermanos' Server 2 effort has expanded considerably after last season basically just being Miles Stone. We got Bozer, we've got Andreas Hansen, we've got, I think it was Ron Morley? No, not Ron Morley. Max Kruse. That's what I'm thinking of. Now representing Los Patos Hermanos. Dennis Hook still trying to make his way through the field. Catching up to the back of Lautrier. And he'll go down the inside of the Porsche, who should probably stay wide and, yeah, let Robert Volt, as well as Saha and Bearded X Badass through. Further up the field, Mike Golfer overtaking D. Hines. Oaks leads by 3.4. He's going about 2/10 slower than Matt Gale for a couple of laps. Lautrier relegated. Well, not relegated, but blue flagged. And Dennis Hook also taking the wide route there to allow the battle for third place to go through. Drive-through penalty for Sean Young. Must be for some track cutting action. Gale keeps chipping away at the front. Couple of tenths every lap, basically. Nothing really happening there yet, though. The lead is still at 3.2. So the interest is all on who's going to stand on the podium. Will it be Volt, Saha, or Badass, who are currently battling for position? The car in the background is Dennis Hook. He is not involved in this battle. Had a technical issue early, lost a couple of laps. Just out there trying to salvage what he can. Kerry Pattenden overtaking D. Hines, whose car looks like it has, in fact, been in a war. A lot of paint missing from the Irishman's car. And further up the order, Backer with a little push to pass. Scrivaris for 15th place. Little cheeky. But Bacher is a little bit desperate after a really unimpressive title defense of his Bronze Championship last season. He has changed cars, and he is determined not to let that happen again. Currently in 4th place in the bronze list behind Saha, Stewart, and Morley. So, doing okay. And ahead of fellow, like, kind of long-time bronze-ish contenders like Maroon and Stancer. So that's positive, as well as the demoted Kerry Pattenden. And the former Iron champions who are looking to swing it with the bronze boys, Sean Young and Matthias Wiedemann. Saha losing a spot. Let's have a look at what happened here. Just got his line wrong. Ended up a little bit wide. And Bearded X Badass says, thank you very much. Kramaric, Cruz, and Slay and Professional Hater are battling. Hater, I think, is returning from off track as he loses out those spots. He was quite a ways ahead of this group, and I'm not sure what happened, but he wasn't very close to anybody, so either he got tangled up with blue flag traffic or just had a mistake of his own, similar to what we saw from Saha. Also, Bacher has ended up falling backwards quite a bit. Let's have a look. Alright, that's him recovering from contact with the wall. And I mentioned he was ahead of Chris Stancer. He is no longer ahead of Chris Stancer. That is Chris Stancer in the McLaren up ahead of him. Was battling with Scrivaris, but I don't want to put any dispersions out there without evidence. Adam Stewart now under pressure from Andres Hansen for 6th place. Hansen having a stellar day for the iron category. Looks like Los Patos Hermanos will lead with that championship lead. It's one they're investing heavily in. Like I said, we didn't have really much of a Los Patos Hermanos contingent last season. It was really just Milestone, but this season they're going for that bronze title hard with the additions of Hansen, Zur, and Cruz. Get 2 battles for the price of 1 here as Morley and Ja are jousting right behind them. This is a battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th place. 6th, 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Adam Stewart having a return to form here in 6th place. Iron positions, we have a request from the chat. Andreas Hansen leads, Felix Kramer, it's Matt Cruz, Nathan Gray, and Paul Scrivaris. I'm pretty sure that's going to be your top 5. Not really anyone else to think about. D. Hines is in 6th place, followed by Casey Jones in 7th, Pat Fortune in 8th, Bo Zur 9th, Mario Ferreira 10th, 11th for Clinton Strobel, 12th for Werner Steffen, and then Lautrier in 13th place. Stewart getting away a little bit. Hansen under pressure from Morley, who in turn is under pressure from Jaw. Jaw goes down the inside, and the 296 is through into 8th place. Oh, not over yet for him. Morley is going side by side, and he's gonna overtake him, but I don't know about that, Morley. I think you should be focused on following Jaw and trying to catch up with Adam Stewart. Fighting with Jaw seems like it'll just be a time waster. I think he's got the pace to beat you. He was the pole sitter after all. And not really in your league. Like, this is a silver versus bronze battle. And I think you gotta treat it as such. You want to get up past Hansen and attack Stewart for that 2nd place. That's what you want to do. No one else really matters. D. Hines getting overtaken there by Adrian Marood. Clinton Strobel, by the way, with a drive-through penalty. Oh, Badass did get Volt at some point. My apologies, we missed it. As they are lapping one of the Mustangs there. That is probably Werner Steffen. Yeah, I think he's the only other Mustang in the field. It's just Bearded X Badass and Steffen representing the bucking horse as opposed to the prancing horse. Cruz still battling for 2nd with Kramaric and Iron, and for a top 10 position. Kramaric having a fantastic race. Cruz having a fantastic race. And one of them will get to cap it off with a nice 2nd place. Or maybe neither of them, as they could obliterate each other, and it would revert to Nathan Gray. Who is having a very solid iron run as well. The lead is down to about a 2nd between... Oh, actually it's down to about a half 2nd. Matt Gale is properly putting the pressure on the rust bucket at the front. So got a couple of battles to look at here. We also have D. Hines, who continues to just fall through the field. Sean Young picking up a spot there. Not long after Maroon did. Oral Jaw tucked up behind Adam Stewart and behind Andreas Hansen. Ooh! Oh no! He collects Stewart! No! That was ballsy and kind of dumb. Oral Jaw trying to weaponize Werner Steffen's traffic. And he contacts Adam Stewart. And that is terrible. Morley benefits as he moves through. Also overtook Andreas Hansen in the bit. So Morley moves into 6th place. Phenomenal. Picked up 3 spots. Hansen's still 7th. Stewart falls to 8th. Kramaric is up a spot as well as Cruz. And Oral Jaw tumbles out of the top 10. Hayter versus Gray has suddenly become a fight for 12th place. So that reconfigures the bronze podium. Saha, Morley, and Stewart is now the order. Rounding off that field is Stancer, Bacher in 5th, 6th for Golfer, 7th for Patton, and 8th for Maroon, 9th for Sean Young. And Bacher briefly off the track there, losing a spot to Kerry Patton, as well as Golfer. So Golfer now up into 5th place. In the meantime, Oaks, he's got one more lap to hold off Matt Gale. Two-time race winner last season, Richard Oaks, looking to start season 14 with a bang. But he's got Matt Gale for company. The Nissan Trader, he's moved to Porsche, and he wants to be victorious in his Porsche debut against the veteran Porsche driver, Richard Oaks. Bearded X Badass looks pretty confident in third place. He's pulled a gap on Robert Volt. Saha in fifth, followed by Morley and Hansen. Stewart, Kramrich and Cruz, your top 10. John 11th, Gray, Hayter, Perry, Scrivaris, Stancer, Golfer, Pattenden, Bacher, Marood, your top 20. It's been a phenomenal day. Matt Gale loses it a little bit. He got a bit twitchy. Oaks has got the gap, 1.9 seconds. He's got some traffic coming up. That could be a problem. Not sure who that would be up ahead of him. But they are battling for position. Minor mistake there by Oaks. That'll let the battle kind of simmer back up. Saha is all over the back of Volt. He's not happy with a bronze win. He wants fourth place. He's had a phenomenal day. He is my driver of the day, by the way, is Masa Saha. Fantastic work by the Polish driver. Further back, Hayter is lost out to Gray. Volt side by side with Saha. Richard Oaks is your winner from Matt Gale. Bearded X Badass will be on the podium with them. Robert Volt is going to hang on to fourth place, but it is a phenomenal day for your bronze winner, Maciej Saha. Fifth place overall. Oh! We had a yellow flag. We had a yellow flag between Max Cruz and Felix Kramrich. What happened? That's Adam Stewart in the Lexus. And that's just clumsy by Cruz. That gap was always going to close. He's going to pick up second place off of that, but I don't know. I don't know if it should stay that way. I imagine we'll see some stewarding action after all. Richard Oaks is your winner. Joining him on the podium is Matt Gale and Bearded X Badass. In the bronze category, it is Saha, Morley, and Stewart in the Lexus on the podium. Andres Hansen, your iron winner. Max Cruz with some dirty pool to get second place ahead of Kramrich. And a late drive-through penalty, by the way, for Kerry Pattenden. Adrian Marood on the tail of Sean Young at the line. Not gonna work. My pick did not have a good day. I had Marood as my pick to win the bronze championship. And I'm not backing out on it now. It's still on my list. He is still my pick. But I also have to admit that he finished 9th in class. Last man to see the checkered flag will be David Slater. Not because he's in last place, but just because of the vagrancies of where you are when you receive your deal. And we got some penalties after the fact for that is Brandon Harvey as well as Lautrier picking up some time penalties. Some apologies heading up in the chat. Scrivaris had a good race. Yeah, 7 overtakes, as you say. Pretty solid. Good result. 4th place in class. Fifth place. 5th place in class. Behind Gray, Kramrich, Cruz, and Hansen. Good debut. Certainly a contender in the championship. And we'll see how that goes. As per usual, we will have the interview phase with the drivers. And I will put up a car for our amusement. I guess today it's got to be a Porsche, right? We did have a Porsche 1-2. I think we got to go give the love to the car that I personally really do not care for. I do not care for the Porsche myself. That is generally the rule. What do I got here for the Porsche? Anything cool in the custom department? Probably not, honestly. Dynamic. I do like the dynamic GT cars. We can rock them. Although they don't have the gold one anymore, which is a little bit lame. All right. As per usual, raise your hand to be invited to the stage. We are still live on the YouTube, so keep that in mind. Robert Volt has claimed the first right to speak. Robert Volt, fantastic day for you. You kind of let everybody else trip over themselves and picked up a great result. How does it feel?
Excellent. Yeah. Seeing as, like, holy shit, yeah. First race of the season, 4th position. I'm feeling good about it.
It's a solid performance, obviously. A near podium here today. Very solid work. We didn't see you get into anything silly, which a number of your rivals kind of did. So that's always a good debut for your first silver championship bid.
Yeah. And to be honest, I was a little bit against the whole being moved to silver, even because I didn't see that I had the pace of actual silver driver.
I mean, I would have to disagree. You've traditionally been fighting with silver drivers, not necessarily the front runners in silver, but you've been battling with the silver drivers for at least like my tenure as commentator here in this great booth.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I've been contemplating about after the fact, because, as you said, I've been competing against actual silver drivers in terms of, actual pace and all kind of crazy gizmo.
It does feel like the silver championship is really, really, really wide open. A lot of the, I don't want to say the best drivers. I don't want to say that we got left with the crap, but we'll say that the more complete ones seem to have all moved on to gold standing this season. And what we have left is some guys who definitely can put together some excellent performances. Looking at Richard Oakes, looking at Matt Gale, who finished 1-2 today. Looking at Oral Ja, of course. But also guys who can have some really low moments. So I think it's going to be a really, really open championship. How are you feeling right at this moment about your chances?
Well, since I'm going up against fucking Ja and the other top contenders, if I'm gonna keep the 4th position in this in the next races, I'm just gonna be happy about it. Well, extremely happy about it.
We're going with the just getting the good results and let things sort out as they may. I mean, it's not a bad policy.
Yeah. Especially since I was like, fuck it, I'll just use this race as a test bench on how the Aston Martin behaves on spent tires on a really mechanical track.
And obviously, you're pretty much the top Aston Martin man in the field. Although, really solid effort from Nathan Gray. So Aston Martin had a really solid day. And I don't know, do you have any other thoughts to add before we move on to Dennis Hook, who had a very unfortunate day?
Not really, although, I feel sorry about Dennis's race as well. just so it's said on stream, and since Dennis is actually in the audience.
He's got to get that sportsmanship points in there.
Oh, definitely. Like, when it comes to sportsmanship, I really take it super fucking serious.
All
And
right. Well, Dennis, let's get your butt up here. My one-time former commentator partner, Dennis Hook, led the race.
Good evening.
Had technical difficulties. Tell us about the day.
It's a hard pill to swallow. Not gonna lie. The fact that let's just say I wasn't expecting to do all that well because I was expecting most of the silver guys to be a lot faster than I would be. So even getting that qualifying result, starting P4, then the race came with everything that was going on, getting up to first place, which is a first for me. Yeah. And then the unfortunate incident happened with Richard, to which nothing of which was his fault. I don't know how it looked on stream, if it looked on stream that Richard hit me or not.
Oh no!
But that was not
on stream. Your car kind of started doing what I like to call the robot walk before he even contacted you.
Well, that's good to hear because that is exactly what happened. Pretty much, my whole system just ceased to operate. Black screen, audio disconnected, my wheel disconnected, my pedals disconnected, my screen froze. So even if all of that didn't happen, I still lost control of my pedals and my wheels. So even if my screen didn't freeze, there was no chance I could have done anything to recover. So yeah, a very very unfortunate thing.
Pick up a couple of points, I think, if nothing else.
Well, I'm certain I was dead lost in silver. I mean, I don't know how many silvers drove today, but maybe it will offer some points.
I do not have the results handy now because I kept up the race controller. I think maybe keep the results. It does not. Handy tip for anyone who does commentary. But you did, at the very least, you did beat Mickey Taylor. So you were not last in the silver category.
Well, at least there's a point, but I mean, yeah, I'm just imagining what could have been if that didn't happen, because I could have really seen how good of a battle that could have been with everyone that was up there. Richard, Gale, Oroja, who unfortunately went all the way down to P10, but still, if he was up there, would have been good. Robert, Badass, Saja. I mean, this is good competition up here in silver. So looking forward to the next race.
Fantastic performance. Also got some good performances from the iron and the bronze crew as well. It was a real interesting clash of the classes up there, which is nice.
That's indeed very good. Competition is always good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably would have been in the mix for sure. I mean, you were ahead of the guy who ended up winning the race, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was close.
Don't remind me.
Matt Gale almost had him on the last lap, but made a mistake through. I'm afraid I don't know the turns of Hungaroring, as I probably should. But he made a mistake through the chicane section, and
that's unfortunate.
Lost it. I was actually kind of speculating that Richard might have been conserving fuel because he was losing like a good half second a lap.
God damn it, Gil. I was expecting better things from you as my cyber racing teammate.
Oh, he got second place. I don't know how much better it could get.
Could have taken first place. No, it's all jokes. Good job from him. At least he got the good results for the team.
Alrighty. We've also got Adam Stewart here today. So Adam, let me invite you.
Thanks for having me. See you next time.
Here. And first up, of course, welcome to the Lexus Brotherhood. It's good to know. Good to know the Lexus is on the field this season. I like delivery. I am slightly colorblind and cannot see it properly, but that is what it is. How did your race go? And it was you kind of came out of nowhere to have a top 10 here today.
Well, my pace was right where it was all during practice earlier, but I would have been up higher. I was running in 6th until, I don't know if you guys caught it on the broadcast where Ja lunged and spun me.
Yeah,
so I lost two positions there.
I shish kebab Ja pretty solidly on that.
But yeah, during that time I was just trying to keep Hansen behind me because I knew that there was another bronze driver right behind him. So I was just trying to keep somebody in between us. I knew Hansen was just a little bit faster than I was. I think that's his name. So I was just trying to.
Andreas Hansen.
I was just trying to drive my race and not, lose too much, and it just kind of worked out. People spun. I didn't have any mistakes except for with Ja there at the end.
Yeah, you kept out of trouble. Did a good job. Did the Lexus proud. Lone Lexus in the field, it appears.
I believe I am the lone Lexus. Originally, that livery, by the way, was going to be orange, but I couldn't find anything with Genji that was orange.
The orange would have been better. I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah.
I'd be able to see it properly.
Yep, I'll have a new livery next week, though.
Oh, okay. We got a new one coming. All right. Oh, that was still one of my favorites on the field today. So that was good.
Thank you.
And I see the Wise Racing team has kind of changed its philosophy. You guys were all with BMW last season, and now there's variety. And any thoughts on that? Walk us through that process.
Well, our leader, Freddie, he decided he was going to change cars, so we were going to change that car. And then he changed again and changed again and changed again, so everybody just went their own way. So we just chose different cars.
All right. I mean, it worked pretty well. It's worked pretty well for like the Nubs Racing division and stuff. So it's definitely something that can probably be functionally good.
I think we were all just trying to find a car that we felt comfortable in, and the Lexus was definitely where I felt most comfortable. I didn't like the Honda or the I think it was the Porsche was the other one we looked at.
Oh yeah, no, I would agree with that. I would definitely pick the Lexus out of those three options for sure. I don't like the Porsche and the Honda. Honda just doesn't do very well. I don't mind the Honda. I spent a season in 3D Speed in the Honda and did actually pretty well, but for the amount of effort that myself and my two teammates were putting in, the return was not really what we would have liked.
Yeah, that's the way it works sometimes.
Hater just popped in, but he didn't put his hand up and he left. I am noting from the chat, they said that there were 10 silvers here today. I do believe that is correct. I believe we had 13 irons, 12 bronze, and that would leave 10 silvers for the 35 car field. So I do believe that is guaranteed points for the silver boys. So yeah, Dennis Hook there getting 2 points, I do believe. Probably could have had more. And yeah, I don't know if any of my championship picks really did particularly well, but we'll see. It's not like I called it last season. Well, actually, that's not true. I did call one of them.
John was kind of an easy pick too.
Well, admittedly, I called John for bronze championship.
Well, he just jumped up a class and still won.
I said that right in the first. I'm like, I believe that was my whole point when he came in for the interview. John, you sandbagging genius.
when him and I first talked about him coming over here, and I told him, I said, you're going to end up in gold, and that's where he's at now. But it took him a whole season.
Well, I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, you don't want to rush it, but yeah, it is all the whole like implementing a new talent into the existing rating structure is always a challenge. Being the guy who did that for ESR for a long time before he gave up, it is definitely hard because you're going off at just too small of a sample size, and sometimes you get people like a certain person who intentionally sandbags in every qualifying session. Who who kind of tries to get himself ranked a little low. All right. Well, everybody, that appears to be the end of our day here today. We don't have anyone else in the commentary booth looking for an interview. Thanks for joining us. We had double-digit viewers on the live stream today. That is pretty dope, I must say. And we'll probably pick up a couple hundred views on the after the fact because, of course, one of the main sources of views for these videos is the guys who are driving. And obviously, for the most part, they don't do that while they are driving. I have had experiences on that, though. I have had... there's a driver in ESR called Mike Stopmill who at one point was so far ahead that he was, in fact, communicating with the live commentary vis-a-vis the game chat. So I guess it can be done, but not generally. Looking like a good year. Last season, coming out of Zolder, which was the first round, I had a way stronger feel of how the season was going to go. And this season, I'd say all three championships feel very, very, very up for grabs. And that is, it's a nice feeling. Even if last season they went down to the wire, but like this season, I do feel like some of the guys who I thought were going to be like real contenders, they did not have a good day today. And some people that I thought were not going to be contenders, Andreas Hansen, probably the best example. I said, like, he's a really consistent guy, really, a lot of gumption, but doesn't really have the pace. He had the pace today. And that's horrifying for the Iron Field going forward, I'll say that much. And with that note, I will call the stream to a close. Hope you enjoyed. Join us next time. I'll be back unless something gets in the way.